Hello, hello. It's the one and only. I'm back. I'm been spending some time really living my best life. When it comes to the game, I reached a whole different level now. I always hit different levels. Sometimes I'll be in that mode where I'm attracting so much and really doing some magical stuff. And then sometimes I'll be falling back, really soaking up information and doing these videos and stuff like that. So the last 3 weeks has been about action for me because I feel as though I can't give you the best game if I'm not out there really living and doing what I do, you know? And so that's what I've been doing. So I got some amazing game to share, you know? And I'm back at it, dropping heavy. So, but one thing I wanted to touch on, you know, was just the idea that and this is what I'm gonna talk about right now. I got some real great stuff to talk about later, but right now, when you're dealing with somebody on a dating level and you're texting and communicating, they'll try to set you up. Women will try to set you up for a certain kind of frame. And man, if I were to show you this text exchange I had with this one young lady who was trying to bait me into taking her out on a date, where she wanted me to try to spend a bunch of money. Um, you know, she had mentioned, yeah, like, so what kind of date would we do? I'm like, well, we can get some drinks. And she said, well, is there gonna be food or like, cause I don't just do drinks. And I just had to let her know, you know, it don't really matter like what you do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I look at it in that moment when she did that, it was a frame battle. It's not that I can't take her out for drinks and food. Cause what she didn't realize is when I said drinks, right? And I don't even do dates, but I'll just every now and then I'll do a date because I want to do it. Meaning, not even a date. Like I'll be like, fuck it, we can go. It's a game I want to watch, so I'd rather kick it with a beautiful young lady while I'm watching the game. I'm not. It's like money's a big deal or anything like that. But she tried to bait me in this frame of like, yeah, you know, and for me, I'm like, look, if I offer to do X, Y, Z, you got to just rock with it. Because if you try to make me do something else aside from that, now you're trying to get me to buy into your frame. And if I buy into your frame, at that point, you're controlling the dynamic of our relationship. You're the one with the masculine energy, and I'm the one with the feminine energy. It, to me, it gives off scarcity on my end because now I'm having to shift what I'm doing to try to appease to you. And for me, that's like what somebody would do that is really pressed to be with a certain girl. For me, I got options. I have options, and beyond options, I already have a beautiful girl. Like I already have a girl. I don't have to go out of me even going on a date is a waste of money for me because I don't need to do that. I do it if I feel inspired to do it because I want to vibe and meet this girl and we can be on the same vibe and we can build. But like, I know so many women that don't even care to do that. So we was having this whole exchange and I was just letting her know like, you know, a bunch of points. And she was like, well, I date a lot of wealthy men. And in my mind, I'm like, look, it's not about whether they're wealthy. It's not about money. It's what it's about is the frame, if we're gonna do something that I suggest, and then you try to push onto something what you want, at that point, you know, we're in a situation where you want me to follow you, and that's not how this works. That's just a bad frame. I've been there, done that. Had the T-shirt years ago where you follow a woman's lead, and then after the date, you have a good time, and you don't hear from her again because in her mind, you're just another guy that she put in the bag. And a girl's gonna say, she was saying things like, "Oh, it's too bad you have these negative experiences with women that taint how you view blah blah blah." And I'm like, I have great experiences with women. I mean, I love women. I mean, women love me. Like, I have great situation with women. I'm not bitter at all. I literally do this from a scientific perspective. I explained to her that I realized years ago that dates don't correlate to good long-term relationships. A date has nothing to do with a successful relationship with a woman. They're two separate things. They don't correlate. And I know that from the point of I did a study on it from people that I spoke to, from my own experiences, and I found that dates actually hinder your ability to keep the girl and to have a good situation with her because it sets up a bad frame. So, with that being said, I explained all of this to her. She was trying to battle me, go back and forth, and I was just crushing her with these objective points. So what was so funny is right when it started to go left and she's getting mad and she's like, well, it's too bad that you hate women and all this weird shit. I'm like, yo, I was like, now you're projecting. Now you're projecting, and I don't like that. I was like, look, we don't even got to talk if you're going to be doing that, to be quite honest. But I had to flip it because I don't like having bad interactions with women and trying to argue and all that. So I said, but look, it doesn't negate the fact that I think you're a dope girl. You're a beautiful girl, very smart. You definitely think out the box. We had real good conversation before this whole situation. So, it's cool. It's all love. Like, I still think you're a beautiful girl. You're still a wonderful girl. And I'm not tripping. And then she's like, well, her tone started to change. She's like, I just wish it didn't have to go this way. And then, of course, boom, she starts to buy into my frame. I guess I did kind of trip out because, you just wanted me to see you for you and not for, what you can do for me, or not, have to do it a certain way to make me happy. You wanted me to just rock with you. And I was like, yeah, exactly. And, and I was like, yeah, it's all about meeting in the middle. You know what I mean? I feel like this conversation gave us some good context, and who knows, maybe we could rock even cooler now that we both know where we coming from. And then she was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, bro, she's wrapped around my finger. Next thing you know, how she asked me, I was like, man, so after all of this talking and going back and forth, how do you feel? And she's like, I don't know. I feel like, we could have avoided all of this, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, yeah, for sure. And she's like, how do you feel? And I'm like, well, it's interesting because with all this energy, it's kind of unique. I kind of feel a sexual tension just based off the energy. And she was like, wow, that's interesting that you say that. How come? And I'm like, well, it's really just masculine and feminine energy pushing against each other, trying to come to a understanding. And to me, that's kind of like the force of sex. It's that push and pull, that masculine and feminine energy battling one another or pushing against each other, creating more polarity, creating more polar energy. And then she's like, wow, that's crazy you said that because I hate when guys sexualize me, but the way you put that was very like unique. Like I get it. And I was like, yeah, that's dope, And then next thing you know, we end up getting into a whole nother conversation, which is a little bit X-rated. But next thing you know, this girl is doing some amazing things with herself while I'm on the phone just chilling. You know what I'm saying? So I totally took her from her trying to make me buy into her date frame to me not rocking and sticking to my frame, to her then bending to my frame, to her then getting turned on by it, to her now giving her sexuality, her sexual energy, and letting that free. And ever since then, we broke past all the BS. Now I can link with her whenever I want. I don't have to go on no date at all. You know what I'm saying? I can literally shoot. It's whatever. So that's my point, guys. Like, are you going to buy into her frame? And my whole point in bringing this up was really just to say that this is my whole main point, which is a separate point, is you want to deal with women from a level of a friend. Like, when a woman's talking to her friend, she's talking about, like, the real deal stuff. When she's on a date, and when she's doing this little, take me out on a date and talk all fancy and all this, it's a frame of her having to act a certain way and you act a certain way, and it's this whole game. But I like to get down to the nitty gritty, like, yo, how's your dating life? Like, I like a girl to tell me, like, yeah, man, I dated this guy. I went on a date with this dude 2 days ago. Yeah, we kissed. He tried to smash, but I just wasn't feeling it. Or we smashed and blah, blah. And I'm like, bet. Like, I want to know that shit. I want to know you as a person. I want to know the real deal. Let's cut through all the little fancy stuff because I want to get to the real deal of you. Because once I do that, now we can kick it. Now I don't have to do this whole date and this whole game. And like, now we can just kick it because we know what's up with each other. And that's my whole goal during the talking stage, is to get into that friend zone to where we keep it real with each other about our situation and we just build. And we don't try to start from this frame of like, I'm down here, you're up here, and I'm trying to get up here to appease you. I want us to both meet here, deal with each other at this equal level, and then we vibe out from that level, and then you can find me attractive because you rock with me, not with this perception I'm doing to get you. So that's my message to y'all, man. It's going to be a lot of game being dropped. I appreciate y'all listening. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. It's the one and only 5D Attraction. Peace.